Empower, support, love. That's true beauty.
Allowing God to use me to inspire others.
She is clothed with strength and dignity.
Welcome to Sis To Sis.
Hey, y'all. Did y'all miss us? Because we sure missed you. Look, today is the day that we are going to talk about finances. Before we get there, we want you to watch, like, and subscribe to our channel at Sis To Sis 1988, as well as follow us on all social media platforms at Sis To Sis 1988. Go ahead and hit that bell and subscribe. Look, y'all. The pandemic. Now we got rich folks broke and we got broke folks rich, right? That's what happens in the pandemics of the world.
Yes.
If you go and do your history and do your research. So today we want to focus on personal finances. We're going to focus on personal finances, try to give our opinions on ways that people can save money, build credit, prepare for retirement and things like that. Put a good standstill on bills. Try not to have all the bills as high as you can pay them. Things like that. We are going to focus on my best friend over here, Calandra. I think she is a wonderful finance person as far as this really is personally. I think she's very successful with that and knows really how to carry a dollar better than me, her friend, I'm thinking. I do okay, but I think she's better. It's okay, give credit where credit is due. So we're going to go ahead and get things going. Y'all ready?
We ready.
All right. So let's do this. Let's start it like this. What is y'all's opinion on finances today with millennials?
With millennials.
And I'm talking about, I want to say what is the good and then what is the bad with millennials.
I think millennials in this day, they're hungry. Is what I kind of see.
It's not bad though.
No, it's not bad at all.
Right.
But they trying to get it. They out here grinding. They trying to get it. But I do think that most of them spend it when they get it. So I don't think it's a whole lot of saving going on.
I think millennials are spoiled. That's what I do believe. So I don't think
they are spoiled too.
So some of them, I don't think they fully understand the hustle, and what we have to go through, like what we had to go through coming up, because I started working at 13. So most of these children,
14 for me.
Right. So most of these children nowadays, they don't even get that and understand that, what that is to have to work, because their parents have probably, just say like even my child, even though he does work, and I think that's because I tried to teach him about finances. I tried to sit him down and we would sit down and have conversations, about, finances. But I do believe that millennials are really, really spoiled though.
Well, this is what I want to say as far as the millennials go. I still count us into the millennials. I'm going to say that. I'm going to count us in there.
It depends on the age, right?
Yeah, but I'm going to say this. We are the generation that we saw that we did not want to live like our parents now. We weren't living on the street or anything like that. But I remember as soon as I turned 13, I remember going to my mama and telling she needed to start taking me around to different places so I could find a job. Like kids are not doing that now. They work and this is really not, they not really too much wanting to do that. And so our generation, I think we hustled harder, because just look at my class. I'm class of 2002 at O.D. Wyatt, and quite a few of us are business entrepreneurs. I will say that. And you look at their kids, and I'm hoping that they're thumping that in them as well. And I think if you are lazy as a child, if you were lazy, I don't believe I was a lazy child. If you were lazy, it's going to be hard for you to try to stump something into your child about working. Because most of the time when you lazy as a teenager, you kind of sometimes be lazy as a grown-up, which I think. And so if a child is seeing, they're not seeing that person pushing and sacrificing and working hard, what they're going to do it for.
But I was actually taught that basically nothing is free. Yeah. So if it was something that I wanted, for example, if it was a new bike, we just going to say a bike. they would make a deal with me. I'll pay for half of it, but you got to get the other half. So my mom would tell me I had to go around to like my auntie's house or whoever help clean up. They'll pay me to clean up or whatever to show me that ethic of you have to work to get what you want. So that's what I was taught growing up. Now with these new ones we got, I don't know if they being taught that, but I know we were taught that. Like you have to work for what you want.
And I think, it's prom season, right? Let's talk about that. And we're talking about going back to what Calandra was saying with being spoiled. You will see on social media parents who are allowing their kids to use the jet. Like the child is in, Atlanta, and the little girl they want to take to the prom lives in, Michigan. And so the dad or the mom, whoever jet it is, they're letting them fly up to this. And I'm like, come on now.
All this lavish.
Right, it's
unnecessary.
like unnecessary
yes,
things. And I'm like, if that's your child, because I know what people are gonna say, I can do what I want for my child. Okay,
And
you can do that, but I'm like, what are you really teaching them what you did that now you do have a jet? Because sometimes I think things are not all spoken out. It's not, everything is not talked about, as Calandra is saying she do with her son, my godson. I mean, you have to talk to them. Now, my mom and dad, I will say, did not have to really do that. But what I will say, y'all remember, it seemed like growing up, things would be broken in the house. I remember for years, we didn't have any air conditioning in the car. And I would be dying, you know what I'm saying? And I remember my dad used to say, you'll see. And in my mind, I'm saying, you telling me that I ain't gonna be able to keep no air conditioning in my car, right? So when he was saying that to me, I'm saying to myself, no, I ain't either. If I gotta work 2 jobs, I refuse to walk around and drive around in this hot car in Texas heat, right? So I think it's kind of like what was being given to you in your ear. What do you think? Because I think sometimes our culture, we say our parents didn't teach us about finances, but they kind of did.
Yeah, they really
did.
Right?
They did. And it really taught us some things to do and then some things not to do. At least I know for me, financial freedom was very important. And that's the reason why I chose to make sure that I got that right and I got a good understanding of that so that I can break that generational curse and pass this on yet again to my son. So I believe when I was about 23 is when I kind of really got on that track. So it's a little bit after I had my son. Actually, I think that was the same year that I had my son. It was that was like a wake up for me. Now I'm responsible for this other person. I'm no longer just responsible, for myself. And I didn't want to let him down. So that's when I made the choice that I knew I wanted to be 100% financially free. And then also just seeing some of the struggles that I did see my parents and such, go through as well too. So that's what kind of put me on the road to, the financial freedom. And I wanted to make sure that it didn't stop with me. So therefore, like I say, I sit Zion down and we have those conversations. But really what I started to do was I started to research and just find a mentor. That's what I always recommend for somebody. Find somebody that you that's kind of trying to get on the same track where you are trying to get on, shall I say. It doesn't have to be someone that you actually go and actually end up meeting personally. I would say the person that I follow the most when it comes to money and money management personally is going to be Dave Ramsey. You follow him, look him up. His baby steps. I mean, this guy, if you follow this guy, Christian based as well too, you follow this guy, he will get you there. And it makes it so reasonable where anybody can do it. Anybody's able to do that. Actually, they even have tracks where you can put them on. You can put your children on them as well too. Me and Zion, we went through that same thing as well too, helping him manage money. Honestly, sometimes he checks me. Like now, thanks be to God, I'm in a different financial class, but I still live like, I wouldn't say minimum wage, but I still live like I probably make about $12 an hour. God knows I don't really live necessarily like, I don't make $12 an hour, but I try my best to live like that. But Zion will check me. Mama, do you really need to buy that? Do you really need to purchase that? So I think I have accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, with him at least. And I hope and I pray that he carries that on, to his children, as well too.
And I will say not all of us, we were talking, I'm talking about millennials. I'm saying, kind of like the situation with you say, looking at what you are around. You were setting that foundation. You were maybe watching the videos with him, talking to him, sitting down, put $2 over here. Now, I will say my grandmother, boy, she can make a penny out of $100. I'm talking about that woman knows how to save some money. Them grandmamas, I'm telling you. But I didn't live with her. But what I saw was hard work. Was hard work. And I remember when I was a kid, you know, I guess in the 80s, you know, whatever young black couples that were having kids at that time. I remember my mom and dad arguing about a second job. And I remember, you know, my mom said, I'm going to go get me a second job. And I remember my daddy said, no, you're not. If anybody going to work 2 jobs, it's me. That was the first time I heard 2 jobs. I'm like, what 2 jobs? What that mean? You know, I didn't know what that mean. You know, when you get to, you know, you get older, you know your parents work, but I didn't know what that mean at that time. But from that point on, it was just, it's understood. You can't sit at home. You're not going to have nowhere to live. You're not going to have nowhere to eat, nothing to eat. You ain't going to have nowhere and no way to get to work. You're not going to ever keep a job because you can't get to the job. Things like that.
Right.
So I'm just like, these kids now, everything is, in my opinion, handed to them, right? Yeah. I don't feel like they're working for it. They're not necessarily making good grades in school or I don't know, very good in athletics. I don't know, whatever the case may be. I just think it's being, going back to what Calandra was saying as far as being spoiled, it's being handed. And so you want to train, because eventually they are going to have babies. So what are they going to teach?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you know, teach. What are they going to teach them? You know, you're going to have to show them that it didn't come easy. Mama had some sleepless nights. You know, mama at work dozing off in the desk, because a person that's accomplished at a certain level, you know, it was not given to them. They worked for that. Right. It was blood, sweat, and tears in that. And I just feel like, you know, and up in New York, because I did some research, New York, Atlanta, and I believe California, they actually have financial classes. They teach those kids how to do like share stocks and things like that, trade stocks and things, how to look at the market, what's trending. We didn't have no classes.
No, we didn't have a lot of that. But actually, the guy Dave Ramsey that I'm talking about, some places in some schools they actually do incorporate that into the curriculum.
That is great.
Yes, and I do think that is much needed.
Yes, I think that should be a prerequisite.
Yeah.
I think all
it should
kids
be part of the curriculum.
One of my goals, actually, you know, I pray about it all the time. You know, back like in the 70s and 60s, a lot of our parents were able to come out of high school with some type of a trade. It was plumbing, HVAC, a car technician. You know, they could have something. I really feel like the schools should bring that back. Bring those programs back, because all the kids are not going to go to college. I know that's what people say. We push that into them when we're in school.
But college isn't for everybody.
It's not.
At all.
But that is something for them to get started and not be feeling like they're struggling. Because look at it, they're not going to have no whole lot of student loans. Because that's what got me. I wanted to go to big UT Austin, and that's where I went. And guess what? It came with a big old fat bill, because me and my mom and my dad did not sit down and look at those papers and see that the money they did give me to come to that school was not going to cover that tuition. And I ended up coming home. My mom and daddy did not have the money to keep paying for me. So what did I do? I went down there and I got a job, and I started flunking, and I had to come home.
Yep.
You see what I mean?
And we got that student loan.
And we got that. Guess what? Them student loans was for nothing. I paid those off.
But the way I look at that is, it's not the end all be all though.
No,
I mean,
it's
really,
not. But I'm saying just a trend. You know what I'm saying? I think that if we put the financial courses in the schools, we give back the children the trades, we can restart the cycle. I do believe we would restart the cycle. We won't have all these kids starting out going to school having all this debt. They was already certified. You see what I'm saying?
Be able to break the cycle. Yeah.
Because them student loans are not fun.
No, I will say that.
If somebody would have told me what I know now, I would not have gotten those.
Right. I praise God. I'm almost done with them, but you know, hey, it is what it is. But look, you guys, we're gonna go ahead. We're not gonna take up all your time. We're gonna come back and we're gonna be asking specific questions to try to get you guys a good idea on how to handle your personal finances. Okay? So
until next time,
there is strength in sisterhood,
and there's support in sisterhood.
Bye.
Bye.